It's all about power.
That's it. Yeah. That's it.
But we're not organizing for power. We're dancing around it. We pray about it. We sing about it. Some of us even read about it. The rest of us speak about it. Whoa, nobody's organizing for power. This is our challenge.
That's right.
That's beloved Africans. This is our challenge.
That's right.
To begin to organize for power wherever we are. And a lot of times, you know, some of us are very uncomfortable about some things. Like, you know, me talking of Obama. They just gave imperialism a blackface. That's all they did. Yeah. They changed the color of imperialism. You know, if you're a painter, you're an artist, you can sketch. You can sketch in red, blue, green, purple, whatever color. So they just sketched it in black. And we bought the dummy. Yep. And we're so happy.
Yeah.
Got a black man in the White House. Woo! That's an excellent, you know, visual.
It is.
Black man in the White House. Yeah. I hear people say, now I told my son he can aspire to be whatever he wants. Yeah. If your son is going to be the emperor of an empire that will murder me and my sons, your son is my enemy.
Yeah, that's right.
And the enemy of my people. If we're not bringing up our sons to be great Africans, to be people who will raise our race, raise us up as a people, elevate us, take us to the next level, then may you have no sons. Let's be clear, this is bottom line.
Wow.
It's not about sentiments. This is it. Yeah. Because our people are dying. You see, for me, when I think about these things, what I see, the stake, I see children who die from diarrhea. Little, tiny things that you shouldn't die, you know, who die from stomach ache. Women die at childbirth, die for the most, the pettiest of diseases. Because of neocolonialism, because of imperialism. Yeah. We bury our people like you bury insects. That's the stake. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. And you know, Africans on both sides of the Atlantic, or let me even say on all sides of the Atlantic, we're going to have to realize this. Because some of us, especially Africans who live in the so-called developed parts of the world, have developed a certain level of comfort that they want to keep at the expense of the rest.
Oh yes.
Of the race.
Oh yes.
And they do this by being on the side of imperialism. This is a painful discussion. It needs to be had. It's about class now. So let's stop talking about it.
Let's do it.
And start doing it. And you know, I say all this to say just three things from our ancestors. Kwame Nkrumah says, organization determines everything.
That's it.
Not individualism like we have now. A lot of us believe in the Trinity, me, myself, and I. That Trinity does not work. Me, myself, and I, all three of you. It doesn't work. We've got to be part of organizations. We've got to be organized. The other ancestor I want to close with, I said there are three, Nkrumah was the first, was Mbuya Nehanda from Zimbabwe. She was the chief priestess who used to mobilize the people for the Chimurenga. The Chimurenga was their war of liberation. Those were in the days when we used culture and spirituality as a weapon for liberation, not as a crutch, not as Panadol for headache, but as a weapon for liberation.
Yes. Yes.
She would mobilize our people to fight. And that's how they won their first war of liberation. Mbuya Nehanda. You know what the British did to her? They skinned her, you know, like you skin an animal before, you know, skinned her. But before they finished, or even before they started, she said something to them. And you see, when they do that, they did it in openly,
Open, yes,
with our people all out there. So our people would see, and it would put fear into them that this is what we do to people who stand up.
That's right.
So she said to the people, and she told the British, this civilized, human rights loving British, skinned her like an animal. She told them, she said, my bones shall rise again. She told them, my bones shall rise again. Her bones will only rise through you and I.
Come on now.
That is the only way her bones will rise. Through us. And that's what she meant. My bones shall rise again. And finally, the eternal words of Marcus Garvey. And there are many of our great ancestors who've left us this powerful legacy for us to utilize, not just to talk about.
That's it.
It says, rise up, you mighty race, for you can accomplish whatever you will. Rise up, you mighty race, for you can accomplish what you will. Thank you so much for your time.